Well, it seems more and more are getting comfortable speaking out against government overreach and against COVID-19 mandates these days, and that includes medical professionals. In this report, I interview not one, not two, but 5 doctors doing just that. It's an important report, and you're not going to want to miss a minute of it. Drea, Humphrey here with Rebel News, and when it comes to British Columbia, I've covered a lot of the pro-freedom, pro-choice, anti-segregation, anti-medical coercion movement, and a lot of the ways that that has been discredited, that movement, or at least attempted to, is to paint the concerned Canadians who show up at those protests or speak out about such things as extremists or conspiracy theorists or racists.
Si des gens qui sont farouchement opposés à la vaccination,
qui sont extrémistes,
qui croient pas dans la science, qui sont souvent misogynes, souvent racistes aussi, c'est un petit groupe, mais qui prend de la place. Et là, il faut faire un choix en tant que leader, en tant que pays.
We're seeing that a ton with the truckers. Thousands upon thousands of concerned Canadians have gone all the way to Parliament because they have legitimate concerns about things that have been causing division in our country. And take a look at this tweet from the Prime Minister. Today in the House, members of Parliament unanimously condemned the anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, anti-Black racism, homophobia, and transphobia that we've seen on display in Ottawa over the past number of days. Together, let's keep working to make Canada more inclusive. Was that not a slew of every trigger word you could think of? Yet, oddly enough, when it came to the 68 burned and vandalized churches after the announcement of unmarked grave sites at residential schools, the Liberal Party was nowhere to be found when it comes to calling out hate, and they still haven't condemned blackface.
The Honourable Member for Peace River Westlock is rising on a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, if you seek it, I hope you will find unanimous consent for the following motion. That the House deplores the use of blackface and denounces its use at all times. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes. All those opposed to the Honourable Member moving the motion will please say nay. No. Okay, we don't have unanimous consent.
But if you've been following Rebel News, then you've been given the other side of the story. That means you've been able to hear from these concerned Canadians about freedom and liberties. You've been able to hear from them directly, so you know who they are, the vast majority of them. And when it comes to the doctors, you've been able to hear from some of them as well. Now, the tactic of trying to paint them as something they are not is a little bit different when it comes to the doctors. These are credentialed doctors who have clean records up until they started speaking out against public health's opinions, and they are well respected in their communities. So you can't just simply call them racist for speaking out against medical coercion, which is the ethical thing to do. No. Instead, you're going to have to put some pressure on their licensing bodies. You can see in articles like this one where it's condemning doctors from speaking out and spreading misinformation. I call it a medical opinion, something that we are supposed to be able to get more than one of. At least that's what I thought happened in Canada. And recently I was covering a freedom protest, the worldwide freedom protest. It happened in over 40 locations across the country. I went to the Vancouver Art Gallery and 5 different doctors got up. These are doctors who have lost a lot. They're paying a price for speaking out. And so I wanted to talk to them about why it's important for them to do so and hear what their concerns are when it comes to government overreach and medical coercion. So we're going to get to that report in just a second, but if you haven't already done so, please join our fight at fightvaccinepassports.com. There, you can donate towards the legal costs it's taken for us to help the Democracy Fund hire a slew of lawyers that have taken on over 20 vaccine-related cases. That includes vaccine passports like British Columbia's and no jab, no pay policy. So if you're tired of the medical apartheid in this country and you want to secure things legally so that we can set a precedent so they don't this doesn't happen again, please go to fightvaccinepassports.com. Make your charitable donation there. We appreciate your support. And now let's hear from the Doctors on Tour. That is the name of them. They've been going across British Columbia and they are educating people before they vaccinate. Well, unfortunately, you're watching this on YouTube, which means even though there's going to be 5 doctors speaking and spreading concerns and sharing important information that they think Canadians and people around the world should know, we can't show you it on this platform. Why? Because we'll get another strike and then we'll get kicked off. And it will be harder for people like you to find the other side of the story when it comes to life with COVID-19. So let's just prevent all of that. And you can do so by opening up the box below this video and clicking on the link in the description or the link at the top of the pinned comments. That will take you to the full uncensored report at rebelnews.com. You can also give us your email there so that you can get updated on other important reports. And I will see you when you get there.